I wish I knew, everything I wish I do. Maybe you wish it too. Let me make your wish come true. True, you on my mind. Don't waste.
Hello, 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 air signs, grand rising, and welcome to your Mercury Retrograde in Libra reading. Your weekly, I can't even talk. See, it's Mercury Retrograde. Your weekly reading. So this is going to be for air signs, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. If you have Libra placements or Gemini placements or any like Mercury placements, then you could really be affected by this Mercury retrograde if you haven't done your shadow work. So let's get in tune, guys. Let's just get some energies. Let's see what the energy is going to be for you guys, the air signs, when it comes to Mercury retrograde in Libra. Let's get one more shuffle for the air signs, Aquarius, Libra, and oh gosh, Gemini. Don't forget the gems. All right, so I'm going to take the ones that actually, oh, it's only one that fell. Embracing enthusiasm, shout to the heavens with happiness. So fire signs got that. That was their first card. You could have fire in your chart. Doesn't have to be, though. Could just be an air thing, you know. Begin now. Take your first step. Who got that? I think that was fire signs, too. Or water signs. But I'm seeing some repeats here. Let's get one more for the air signs. Mystic healer, healing energy flows through you. Interesting. Every time I see this card, I get like Virgo hermit energy. Interesting. Okay, guys. So at the back, overall, we have uncovering treasure. Beneath the surface lies great bounty. So when it comes to this Mercury retrograde, for the air signs, you guys are going to be really discovering, I feel, some beautiful qualities about yourself that were buried within, right? For some of you guys also, you're going to be discovering, like, not to be like, pun intended, but like the gold of your soul. You see what I'm saying? Like literally, like you're going to discover like that you are something to be treasured. You're going to be, I feel it's really tied to like your worth, tied to knowing who you are. But I also feel like it's tied to knowing that it's okay to release some of the things that you've been holding on to. So let's see. We have impasse, reflect and redirect your energy. So Mercury retrograde is going to be doing that for everybody. Let's be serious. Helping people to reflect, especially with it being in the sign of Libra, which is like 7th house energy. That's partnerships and stuff like that. So there's a hint of like, not necessarily romance, but at least human interaction. Like for all of you, it might not be romantic in nature, but 7th house, it does talk about like marriage and stuff like that. And institutions, institutions is a whole different house. That would be like 11th house with like Aquarius. But anyway, back to the 7th house. I say all of that to say, I feel like you guys are going to be redirecting and reflecting your energy, but it's going to come through experience. Like experience is going to help you to change course or to change your perspective on something or some things. And then we have watching clouds, which was earth energy got this. Lie back, rest, and relax. So air signs, you may be really heavily affected by the fast moving energy of Mercury, and you may find that you need to take time, extra time to relax, to rejuvenate yourself, to spend time with self, and to really just get out of your head is what I'm getting, right? So we have embracing enthusiasm, shout to the heavens with happiness. I feel like you guys are really going to get back, like the whole theme of Mercury retrograde for a lot of us is getting back to this place of feeling internal balance. And I feel like air signs, you guys are naturally happy. You guys are naturally enthusiastic. I feel like you're getting back to your nature. With this begin now, take your first step. I feel like the first step you're taking is towards healing. Maybe there's an aspect of you that you haven't healed, or there are many aspects of you that maybe haven't been healed that will be revealed to you that will help you get back to this energy of enthusiasm. But you have to take the step towards healing first. It's like we begin here, we go here, and then we revert here, if that makes sense. But that's kind of how I'm seeing things. It's like you have a journey, but the journey is not what's important. It's taking the first step to start, and then things work themselves out. But I feel like all while going through this energy, while going through these emotions, you get to embrace happiness once more. You get to discover or rediscover the truth of being happy and that it comes from within. I feel like that's going to be a really, really good theme for a lot of the air signs too. So let's see. For air signs, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini, what is the energy for this Mercury retrograde in Libra? Mercury retrograde in Libra. Let's see. All right, we got too many. For this Mercury retrograde in Libra, we have courage. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Mercury retrograde in Libra for the air signs. We have playfulness. I like that. And then we have compromise. Card number 6. And it's crazy because 6 is the number of like healing energy and like service to others and stuff like that. But when I see that number compromise, it makes me feel... So let's get into it, guys. We have exhaustion. Card number 9 at the back. This gives me like 9 of Wands energy. I feel like overall, you may find this Mercury retrograde to be exhausting. I only feel like the air signs are going to feel that because it's like the airy nature of Mercury is going to already be paired with your naturally airy nature. And let's just say you're in a place of feeling unbalanced. You're going to really feel the imbalance in your energy, if that makes sense. And it's going to cause you to feel exhausted, which is why taking time for self, lying down, right? Relaxation, rejuvenation, restoration, those are all important. I feel like with embracing enthusiasm, we have courage here because I'm looking at the lineup of the cards. I feel like it's going to take you to be brave enough to want to be happy again. Air signs, like I feel like this Mercury retrograde in Libra is going to help you rebalance your life, but it's also going to show you that it's okay for you to be happy. Some of you guys, I get this energy that you're like scared to be happy, or you're scared of what happiness comes with. It's like you may want to feel happy, but you're not necessarily wanting to go through the things that it's going to require or it's going to take for you to be happy. I feel like it's going to require you to be brave to embrace something, to be able to embrace the form of happiness that's coming to you. With begin now, we have playfulness. I feel like this is you guys now being in that like willingness, right? Because when you think about courage, it's just like the willingness to face something. So I feel like now that you're in this willingness to like be happy, this willingness to embrace enthusiasm, you're able to begin. I feel like you can't face healing for some reason, guys, air signs, until you get in alignment with the notion that you're able to be happy. Some of you guys won't want to heal if you're not in like that happiness kind of energy anyway. It's like, think about it like this, right? Like I'm kind of getting the vibe of like, what's the point of healing if I'm not gonna be like, you almost don't see the point of healing until you face the opportunity or possibility of being happy. Like I keep getting this energy like picture a story, right? Like, you know, you've gone through a really rough time. You're just not a happy person in life right now. Hypothetical. This doesn't have to be you, right? But like, this is the energy I'm kind of getting. It's like, you know, life just hasn't been going well for me. And you kind of can't even think or fathom embracing a happy experience just because maybe how life has been going for you recently or the things that you've experienced. But I feel like it's up to you to embrace that possibility and to be like brave enough to even admit to yourself that there is a possibility for you to be happy. And then it's like it catapults you into healing. That's what I see. That's what I'm getting. And it's interesting, air signs, because I feel a stubbornness there. I feel a lack of willing to believe and a stubbornness, which you may identify with, you may not, but that's what I feel for some of you. So let's keep going. Let's get some tarot on the table. And this is for the air signs, for Aquarius, for Libra, and for Gemini. And look, we got Aquarius with the star, and we got the 10 of Wands. Aquarius, it's time for you to have faith. Aquarius, I could be talking to Aquarius right now. Air signs, it's time for you to have faith and to really release the things that have been weighing you down. I feel like what's been weighing you down are like these negative, because the air signs, I'm getting that you guys are really in your head about whatever's coming up for you in Mercury retrograde. And I get this really big theme that you feel it's impossible for you to be happy, or you're not sure that you can be happy. You don't fully trust that you can be happy. But if you just put a little like willingness, right? Because happiness is literally, it's an emotion, but it's a choice. Like you choose to feel happy. It's not things around you make you happy. You make yourself happy because you can choose peace even in times of chaos, things of that nature. And I feel like for you guys, air signs, it's like your faith will increase when you release the burden of like those negative thinking, the negative thought forms, let's say, or like the negative belief patterns that you've been carrying with you, such as like happiness is impossible to experience, or like I'm never happy. Anytime I have an opportunity to be happy, it gets taken from me. Things never go right when I start to feel happy. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. That kind of energy. I feel like Mercury retrograde is going to help you to face that by allowing things to trigger to the surface for you. All right, look, we got Three of Cups. Didn't I just talk about happiness? Three of Cups is literally like a celebratory card. Three of Cups, Four of Wands, like all about celebrations. The Two of Pentacles. The Strength card. Yep. Didn't I just say it's like you guys are finding it hard to like Four of Wands? I was just talking about this card. That's so crazy. Let's see. And then the Ace of Cups. I love it. I love it. I love it. Air signs. Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. So look at this. Overall, we have the Two of Cups, right? Now, the Two of Cups, guys, you know, it's Cancer energy. It's really about feeling. It's about harmony. It's about two energies coming and merging and working well together. A lot of times it's about romantic partnerships, but I feel like it's really tied to that Libra energy, like balancing yin, yang, masculine and feminine, things of that nature. I feel like that's overall what's going to be happening for you. But I feel like it's going to make certain chapters close in order for you to find this balance. Now, for some of you, this could be about a relationship ending during Mercury retrograde, air signs, and you finally having to deal with the closure of this cycle. And it puts you in this like guarded defensive place, which from the standpoint of the Seven of Wands, guys, I'm sorry about the reflective quality of these cards. I felt really drawn to them, so I used them, but I do know that they don't show that well on camera. But just flow with the energy, yeah? So I was saying with the Seven of Wands kind of energy, it's really hard to embrace enthusiasm when you kind of feel like you have to like, I just heard fight for your life, but it's not literally like fighting for your life. It's just fighting to protect your feelings or fighting to protect like your heart space, your emotional space, or even for some of you, like your mental sanity, right? Because for some of you, in closing out some cycles, you may feel imbalanced because you're stepping out of your comfort zone and it's putting you in a defensive place. But Mercury retrograde is trying to get you to a point where you're ready to move forward with the Six of Wands. Oh, sorry, Six of Swords. There we go. Six of Wands is where you're headed, but you have to first take the step if you want to see success, if you want to see victory, right? So the cards that came out, we have the Three of Cups. I feel like you guys, when it comes to happiness, when it comes to good times, when it comes to celebratory energy, there's this like trying to figure it out kind of quality with this Two of Pentacles, this Capricorn energy. And I feel like when it comes to emotions, you're trying to navigate it, right? Like you're trying to physically figure it out. But I feel like you're trying to find maybe a physical solution to an internal, not issue, but an internal situation. The lack of happiness is not something you can fix outside of yourself, which some of you are trying to do. And you're finding that it requires a lot of strength. It's hard to do that. But I feel like because Four of Wands is really a card of, like, aside from celebrations and happiness, it could be a card of marriage too. It's a card of like foundations, solid foundations. And I feel like you're finding it hard to set up some type of internal foundation where you feel balanced, where you feel happy. And I feel like that's getting ready to change. Mercury retrograde is coming with this Ace of Cups for you, which is a brand new emotional start, but it's a chance for you to open up your heart. And when you open your heart, don't be surprised if there's crying, if there's an emotional outpour, because I feel for many of us, not just the air signs, but all of the signs that I read for today, all of the elements, I feel like there's this energy of suppression that has caused us to act from an imbalanced place. And so Mercury retrograde is coming in the sign of Libra, the sign of balance, to help us face the things that we have not been facing, have not been dealing with, right? I don't know if it was you guys I was mentioning this example to, but it's like when you go to like your shrink or your psychiatrist, right? And you know they have like that pendulum thing on their desk that swings back and forth. That's literally in correspondence with the law of rhythm, right? Which has a lot to do with balance, because what one thing does to one side, it kind of has to balance out and do on the other side. That's how the universe maintains the order of balance. And so they also have mechanisms in place like retrogrades to help us ensue balance, to help us further find balance for ourselves. And sometimes, you know, it can be a little strenuous. It can be a little stressful. With the Strength card being at the center of the spread here, that tells me that it's really been hard for the air signs, or with this Mercury retrograde here, it's going to feel hard for the air signs. You're going to feel like you're kind of, I just heard like going against your nature. Like you have to put in a lot of energy, a lot of effort. And I think that's why they said rest, lie down, relax, because you're going to want to effort your way out of these retrograde energies. And it's not something you can physically attend to. It's all about the internal framework of what you have going on inside of you, meaning shadow work, meaning healing and releasing, right? But you're going to find with this mystic healer that healing energy flows through you. You're going to find that healing is not that far away, especially with this Ace of Cups. This to me is like such a healing energy. It's like this outpour of unconditional love from source. And I feel like it's going to touch your heart, air signs, in a way that will ground you. And it will also help you to hone in on the emotions that you've been tethered to that haven't been serving you, but maybe you haven't released them quite yet. Yeah. So you guys, I'm going to now pull some astrology advice and we're going to wrap this up, because I feel like for the air signs, you may be feeling this retrograde a little bit more than others. Not necessarily. It just depends, because you could be an air sign that has done your shadow work and you're good through the retrogrades. But I feel for the people who I'm channeling for, it might be a little crazy, guys. And I don't mean that to scare you. It's nothing that you can't handle. The Strength card is here because you have what it takes to get through it. It's just going to feel hard, right? So let's see. Let's get an element from astrology. What's going to be supporting the air signs during this retrograde in Libra? This Mercury retrograde in Libra. The air signs. All right, we got solar eclipse revolution, 44. So I feel like when it comes to, because at the back we have Pisces, I believe, card number 2 and 4, which adds to a 6. Ooh, it's so funny because wasn't I just saying it's like having the courage or the faith, like it feels like there's a resistance there when it comes to like believing that you can be happy again, believing that you can be like healed and whole. I feel like with the solar eclipse revolution, it's like solar eclipses to me, they block out the sun, right? So meaning the illumination that you would have, the clarity of mind that you would have that the sun would usually provide for you, you're not going to have that because the moon is going to be blocking, meaning your emotions could be clouding your judgment, but it's necessary, air signs, because that's going to help you. We have 2 4s, right? 2 is the number symbolically of like harmony, duality, partnership, balance. 4 is like your foundation, your internal structure, your makeup, right? The things that you build upon to become even greater. And I feel like you're going to be having a revolution when it comes to harmony within your foundation, especially emotionally with that eclipse. I feel like you're going to not really, like logic is the air signs go-to. You're not going to be able to use that because you're not even going to have the sight to really see things clearly. So logic is not going to help you. You're going to have to feel your way through this revolutionary time, which revolution just means it's coming to change, right? It's coming to set forth change and to bring about change that maybe hasn't been there before. I feel like you're getting ready to reach new levels, which means that if you're going to new heights, you're going to have to experience things that catapult you upward, right? So air signs, what I will say is this. With Pisces, I believe it's just a matter of you choosing to have faith that things are working out for you. And I feel like in doing so, you'll be able to have the courage or at least have the willingness to embrace the possibility of being happy in the future. When it comes to this whole compromising energy, I feel like you guys are really going to need to look at it through different eyes. I feel like you're looking at like the healing process as like you having to compromise, you having to settle, and maybe you feel like you're compromising with the universe, right? Some of you might feel like it's not something you really want to do. Healing is not something you're really interested in. But I'm here to tell you that it's going to happen if you're open and receptive to it, especially if you take the things that Mercury retrograde dishes at you and you use them towards your benefit, right? It starts with your belief. If you believe that the things that are happening for you are actually happening to you and that the universe doesn't love you and that God doesn't care about you, then you're already kind of like choosing a timeline for yourself. Let's put it that way, right? Because timelines are all, they boil down to a matter of choice. If you choose to believe that nothing's going in your favor, then you're going to see a manifestation of that. But if you choose to believe that things are working out for you, you will see a manifestation of that. And so I feel like your belief is really going to be a major factor here. But I feel like it's the belief in something when you don't have all of the facts, right? Pisces, 12th house energy is like illusions, not seeing things clearly, mysticism, all of that. And look, we have mystic healer. Like, you're going to be healing through illusions. A lot of us are. And so air signs, just get ready for this revolutionary eclipse-like energy that this Mercury retrograde in Libra is going to bring to you. It's all for the purpose and the sakes of balance. You're going to find that happiness is really not that far out of your reach, but you have to allow the energy to work for you. And it starts with the power of your mind, of your belief, right? What are you thinking when you see things that you're experiencing? Are you automatically taking it as this is something negative, so it can't be good for me? Or are you saying this is something I don't enjoy, but what is it trying to teach me? That's the difference, yeah? So air signs, I'm going to leave this right here. I love this reading a lot. If you vibed with this, if this resonated, God darn it, Mercury retrograde. If you feel like this has equipped you to deal with this retrograde period, this retrograde season, then don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You already know the vibes. You guys know I love you. This is what I have for you. And that is it.